Ravens Wrap is sponsored by Bud Light, Holiday Inn Express, the Ocean City Golf Club, Comfort Inn, Russell Street Report, the original Green Turtle, and hosted by the Blue Ox Bar and Grill.
In April 1959, Art Wall won the Masters, edging out Carey Middlecoff and Arnold Palmer by finishing birdie, 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 par birdie. 1 month later, Ocean City Golf Club celebrated the opening of their first 18 holes. That course has been transformed now into one of the most scenic golf layouts on the East Coast. Come experience 36 of the most beautiful and challenging holes you'll find anywhere. Ocean City Golf Club in Ocean City, Maryland.
Welcome back in. It is the original Green Turtles Ravens Wrap show here on Comcast Beach TV and Delmarva's Rock Radio 93.5 The Beach, broadcasting from the Ravens Room here at the Blue Ox, home of Ravens Roost 44, as you heard. But go ahead one more time. What the heck? Hey guys, don't forget, you don't have to be a Ravens Roost 44 member to come down to the show every Wednesday night. We're taping here at the Blue Ox. Now next week, it's going to be Tuesday because of some issues Comcast with being out of town. So we're going to be taping next Tuesday, but normally on Wednesdays. Don't forget, we give away an authentic Nike's Ravens jersey after every show. Also, we're drawing for the first of 4 tickets to Ravens games. Tonight, we're drawing for the Ravens Cowboys game coming up in 2 weeks, but we also have 3 more games, 3 more pairs of tickets for games. So come on down. Your chance of not only winning a jersey, but also Ravens tickets. So making it more than worth your while to come on down to the Ravens Wrap show. Mike Bradley from 105.7 The Fan of Baltimore, former Baltimore Colt Bruce Laird, All-Pro safety, and Steve Slasa from Ravens Roost 44 on the panel here with us. Guys, just quickly, we'll touch upon the offense. We talked a lot of defense, and I know we were, with the defense, it's a work in progress. We've talked actually, kind of about some of the negatives, and overall they're lower in the rankings where we're ever used to the Ravens being. I guess conversely, though, offensively, certainly this team is in good stead, and not to throw too many stats out, but we gave a stat in the first segment of the program. The Ravens offensively, number 2 in total yardage per game at 424, right behind the Patriots. That's an awesome number. And we can talk about, and I don't disagree that in the Cleveland game, I thought the Philadelphia game, that Ray Rice didn't get the ball enough in terms of the run game. But that all said, still, Ray Rice is only behind Jamal Charles, who we'll see Sunday against the Kansas City Chiefs, in NFL net yards from scrimmage. Between rushing yards and receiving yards, he's number 2. So to say that he's not getting involved enough, I guess that might not exactly be true on our end, although maybe he's getting more in the passing game than he is in the running game. But that stat sticks out as well. You take a look at Joe Flacco in several of the numbers in the league in passing yards, folks. He's 1 in the AFC, 3 in the NFL. Yards per attempt, 2nd in the AFC. 5th in the NFL. Passing touchdowns, tied for 4th in the AFC, 7th in the NFL. I could go down the list. Ray Rice is 2 in a lot of categories. Torrey Smith is 1 in a lot of categories, or 2 in terms of receiving yards, etc. The amount of plays of 20-plus yards or more for the Ravens is, I think, tops in the league. I mean, this team is absolutely offensively the face of the organization this year, and that's a big change, guys.
And that's what it had to come. It really did. It had to come, the maturation of Joe Flacco, controlling this offense, a little bit of a young line that you're not used to seeing. You're watching this. That is indeed a work in progress. And the big thing, Steve, for me, is big plays. 20 yards or more, Baltimore Ravens.
26.
26. 20 yards or more, big plays for this passing game. 26 already at the quarter pole.
Didn't you think that the Thursday game, I mean, first of all, to have a game Sunday night and then to have one Thursday night, I mean, as a former, that's just criminal. I mean, it was tough for me to even get up and watch it. I mean, staying up past my bedtime on a Sunday night and then a Thursday, I mean, that was big. But I mean, for players to turn around and come back and go, I mean, I thought the only, I hear people talking about it, I said, guys, the only thing you want to do is win that game. just survived and
Just
come out
survived,
with a
man.
win. But didn't you think that, I mean, on the part of the schedulers, I mean, that was just a crazy schedule.
I think it's all computerized, so whoever the nerds were that put that stuff in there, I don't think they did a good job. And for all those players over 32 years old, God bless you. I don't know how you did it, because most of the time for me, when I played on a Sunday and it was a tough, rough game, I probably didn't even practice till Thursday. Okay, so you had a little bit of this. You went through a little bit Wednesday, Thursday, you're ready to go. Thursday, they had to play a game. So
Yeah, that's it's
rough.
if you ask the players, it's very rough. So yeah, 26 offensive players or 20 or more yards by the Ravens this year. 8 times this year in NFL high touchdown drives of 80 or more yards by the Ravens. That means they're starting on the 20-yard line, maybe further in, and they've scored 8 touchdowns. That's an NFL high. That's amazing that they're driving the length of the field. 7 touchdowns the Ravens have scored on 12 drives that began inside their own 20-yard line. So again, driving the length of the field speaks volumes. And red zone scoring. You remember back in the day, it was Matt Stover, Matt Stover, Matt Stover. 3 points. Nope, this second in red zone scoring out of 12 drives inside the red zone, 8 touchdowns, just 4 field goals. Again, a big change, a big shift, I think, with the Ravens and the offense. And yeah, we talked about in previous shows, Bruce. They finally, I think, have the personnel now to be able to do it, and they're making the most of it. And you take a look at it, guys. The distribution. We talked last week of distribution of the various receivers, very even as well. And John Harbaugh said in the press conference that is by design. We want to make as many people valuable, because then the defense, from a defensive standpoint, you can't key on one guy.
Mike, from a defensively, it's all down distance personnel. Where does the ball go? Where does the ball go from the 20-yard out, from 20 yards out? Where does it go from 20 yards in? That's all the things that we keep in our little mini computers in our head when we play this game. And that's why you got to distribute a football.
Yeah, you look at the last 2 drives that we had Flacco engineered against New England. I mean, the second drive to last drive, 92 yards. I mean, from the 8-yard line, like you're saying, he's going to 5 different receivers. He's just bing, 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 moving the ball down the field. And, I think Jacoby Jones is just a huge improvement on the 3rd receiver. And, I think it's a fun offense, fun to watch.
All right, some quick stats, then we're going to get into the KC game. The NFL's best records in September since 2008 when John Harbaugh took over. The Ravens 12-4. That's number 1, and this is our 4th consecutive season that we started 3-1 on the season. All right, 1 o'clock Sunday, the Kansas City Chiefs, guys. I could go down the games. This is a 1-3 team, folks, but don't take that and think that this is a bad Chiefs team. Don't take that the wrong way, because this is a team, folks, that if you take a look at the stats and the games that they've played, they've outplayed offensively the opponents. The big number that sticks out for this team is the plus-minus turnover ratio. They are minus 13. That's last in the league. 3 turnovers against Atlanta, 3 turnovers against Buffalo. They had, 5 turnovers against San Diego. This is a team that if they hadn't turned over the ball, guys, very easily could be a 3-1 team right now. And don't forget, they did win in New Orleans. Say all you want, but to win in New Orleans on the road and to come back in overtime to do it 27-24, not easy, folks. Guys, we need to be ready for this Kansas City team. They have got talent on both sides of the ball.
There's no question about it. This is a team that's right now, it's a paradigm. You don't really know who's going to show up. But if the real Kansas City Chiefs show up, the ones that they believe show up, it's going to be a tough football game. This game is all about stopping the run. Okay?
Absolutely.
The Baltimore Ravens got to put Castle and company where they don't want to be. You got to be 2nd and 9, 2nd and 8. You don't want to be in that 2nd and 3, 2nd and 4, because they love to run the football. I think they're
number 2.
Second in the league running the football, average over 170 yards rushing the football. So get them out of their comfort zone. And Kansas City does not start fast. They struggle giving up points, and they struggle scoring points in the first quarter. Keep that going. Put the hammer down for them and stop the running game. And we'll see what Dean Pease comes up with.
Well, I think the turnovers are huge. I mean, we've been, during the last 5 years, we're +3 in turnovers. So we're 31-0. So, I mean, if we can take a couple of the turnovers and convert them to touchdowns, that's huge for us, especially being on the road. And I know as a big guy speaking, once the barbecue starts wafting through the stadium, it's tough for the big guys to concentrate. You know, it's going to be real tough on the road.
Yeah, that's a good point, Steve. Yeah, this offense for Kansas City, folks, at number 2, they can run the ball, and they do it with Jamal Charles, who did have 2 fumbles in the game against San Diego. Sean Drawn, draft pick out of North Carolina. Peyton Hillis, you remember from the Cleveland Browns days. So they could run the football behind a very solid offensive line for the most part. Receiving-wise, though, Dwayne Bowe, a big physical type receiver. He's a guy that we have to watch out for. You talk about jamming receivers. He's going to be a tough one to do. John Baldwin out of Pitt, he's a solid number 2. Steve Breston, they've also got Dexter McCluster, is a guy that helps on special teams too. He's been in the mix. Their tight ends, John Harbaugh said all 3 of their tight ends can catch the ball, led by Tony Moeaki. But you're right, we talk about first down and stopping the run and putting him in second and third long situations. We've talked about that over the last 5 years doing the show together. They're going to have to stop the run. There's no question, guys. You put it in context there. This could be a potent Kansas City team.
Yeah, and again, when you got a team that doesn't quite know, when the Kansas City very young, last year over 60% turnover on their roster last year, so they're getting there. Understand though, Romeo Crennel knows how to coach. He's been on Super Bowls. He gets it. He's been a defensive
31
coordinator.
years. Yeah.
31 years in this business. If he gets the right people, okay, with the talent, and obviously your quarterback's number one, you get the right people, and he gets them believing, and it gets going, it can catch on fire in Kansas City like it is in Arizona right now. Only difference is they've turned the damn ball over.
Yeah, way too many times. Steve?
Yeah, I mean, when you're looking at the game from that perspective, I mean, this definitely could be a game where the chinks in our armor show up as far as stopping the run. We're not having the dominant nose tackle, basically only playing right now with one end and limited involvement of outside linebackers. It could really come back, but I'm hoping that we will come through.
They have done a good job, though. We talked about outside the Cincinnati game and going back to last year in the second half of the season, Haloti Ngata was there. I think they have done a good job again against Philadelphia, New England, and Cleveland of stopping the run, but they're going to need to in a big way against Kansas City. Guys, conversely, Kansas City plays a 3-4 defense. Our tackles are good run tackles, good against the run, but they're going to struggle against speed rushers, and we seem to face a couple each week. Justin Houston, folks, is a name to watch out for. Tamba Hali, the other one on both sides. So both Osemele and Orr are going to have their work cut out for them. Derek Johnson's a good inside linebacker. So they've got some guys that can get after it. So again, offensively, it's going to be important to get rid of the ball fast, but we do have a lot of weapons, and we're spreading teams out. So I guess a good combination of you keeping them off guard.
There it's going to be. You're going to see what Cam comes up with. Is he going to come out with 3 wides and 1 tight? It's a real good setup for a personnel-wise because you can still run the football with Rice in the backfield. You can get your tight end involved, and we got 3 good wide receivers, and then hurry up or no huddle, whatever you want to call it. I think that's going to be big if you see a lot of that.
Got about 45 seconds.
I think the young offensive line, is definitely going to see some good. I still think it's going to be a game down to the wire, and I think we're going to win on a long field goal, 24-21.
Wow. Okay.
I think we just squeezed one out. I think it's going to be 2017.
2017. I think, again, I think we squeeze out on a field goal. I think we won 23-20. I think the Chiefs, it'll be a good game. They're going to come to play, and we'll see what happens. But I think Ravens will win. Hey, that's going to do it for us, the Ravens Wrap Show here on Comcast Beach TV and 93.5 The Beat. See you next week.
Ravens Wrap is sponsored by Bud Light, Holiday Inn Express, the Ocean City Golf Club, Comfort Inn, Russell Street Report, the original Green Turtle, and hosted by the Blue Ox Bar and Grill.
Welcome to the Comfort Inn Gold Coast. Conveniently located just 1 block from the beach and adjacent to shopping at the Gold Coast Mall and the movie theater. Newly renovated and open year-round with a marvelous bayfront view. Visit us on the web at comfortgoldcoast.com and see our hot deals and great golf packages, or simply call our direct reservation line to plan your stay.